All right, urgent real-time Bitcoin and stock market forecast. The last time we left our hero, in the last episode, we said we were not going to go past and out of this red circle. Actually, this red circle is tinier. Okay, here we go. This is where we are right now. So we did not go past this red circle yet. Are we going to, or are we going to dump? Because the forecast was really, really bleak. The forecast was down to this ad that just popped up from TradingView. Anyway, this is the forecast, and we were going to retrace this entire move up. Is this still going to happen? Is the question. If it does, that means that Bitcoin's going to crash and die. Right now, Bitcoin price is $29,000. It's having a hard time staying above $30,000. Will it pump, or will it blend, or not? Oops, how come it's not focusing? There it is. All right, let me answer this question by deleting this ad first. Okay, here. We're going to answer that question by answering this question first. Is this the top for the stock market? Generally speaking, this would be the top for the stock market. Generally speaking, because we just broke past the last second high, the last second low, and we're trying to challenge the highest high of the whole history of humankind right up here. And we're stuck down here. So we haven't been able to break past this and all that. But what ended up happening was Moody's ended up downgrading America. Literally, Moody's downgraded the entire financial system of America. And all we got was this tiny little retrace, which means that we're bullish. It's not simple. Besides, the best place to top for the stock market is during peak euphoria. And peak euphoria, you're not going to go around and tell your grandkids that, oh yeah, I bought Bitcoin and I sold the exact top at what? $4,573.75. That's just not a memorable number to start telling people to buy in or sell or top. You know what a memorable number is? Memorable number is something really, really round and pretty, like this. Right about here. Bam. This is 50-50. 50-50 also happens to be a perfect Fibonacci harmonic point for this entire stock market. Let me make this thicker so you can see it better. Right up here. 50-50. Wouldn't that make it's kind of like Bitcoin ended up topping out at $69,420 last time. That's how these things work. And this is a perfect fib zone for a perfect top. So I'm thinking it's very likely that we're just going to keep pumping. We're going to consolidate here for a couple days, and then we're just going to keep pumping into winter. And right around winter, when the hedge fund managers and the bankers take a break, then we're going to dump. Now, remember that while we pumped, Bitcoin had been dumping for the last month, several weeks. Is that going to happen too? Is Bitcoin going to dump? Well, let's take a look at Bitcoin then, because I think the stock market's going to just keep going up to about here. I know Jim Cramer said, hey, we're bullish, and then we dumped. But, I mean, this is the worst news you could possibly get, and we didn't dump much, and we're currently on support. Oh, I didn't show you support, did I? Let me show you where we are on support in the stocks markets. Toodaloo. Okay. Here we go. And since, just remember 50-50, okay? I'm going to get rid of all these markers because they're old now and starting to get irrelevant and starting to clutter up my workspace. Remember that I said we're not going to go past this red circle. This is our target for top. And it was. This is our target for top. And then we dumped underneath, toward the bottom end of the circle. So remember that at least, that worked out, and that's a successful trade. Okay, and remember this, I guess. Is this dump going to happen? And currently, I think this dump is not going to happen. I had the bottom target at 3867, and I think this has been invalidated. So we can redraw this entire chart now. So clean. So how are we on support? Let me show you. Ta-da! There we have it. Yeah, but isn't this like a rising channel that's bearish, or at least a head and shoulders, because we have a shoulder here, we have a big head here, and then we have another shoulder here. First of all, for this to be a head and shoulders, the ratios have to be right. The proportionality has to be right, and there's poor proportionality. Anyway, it's not right. Besides, we already got confirmation that support is holding. How? Take a look. Perfect. See that? We had a rejection under the blue line, and we had one more tap to confirm retest. You want me to zoom into that? Zoomed in, and look at how perfect that is. Absolutely perfect. We had a rejection under the blue line, then we had a last touch to confirm retest. This is a SUHD monitor, and my line is off by 0.0000001 degrees, and now I just fixed it. That's what it really should look like. So this looks like it is going to hold, but I don't have confirmation yet because I don't have any kind of bullish downward channel yet. I don't. All I have is this wiki wonky thing that doesn't make a channel yet. It's only got 2 touches on this line. So to get confirmation, what we have to do is the same thing on the other side. To get confirmation, what we need is a breakout, then a rejection, then a final retest. Boop. And if we get a tiny little retest here, and then we consolidate and turn into a triangle, this is what confirmation looks like. First thing we got to do is break out and then retest, and then consolidate a little bit, and then it's right back up we go. Now remember this too. I'm going to move this closer to the price lines so that you can see what this looks like. And I'm going to pause this right here for a second. Okay, so this is what we're looking for. If this happens, then this happens. Remember, if-then statements are the core of humanity and logic and civilization. If-then statements. So now let's look at Bitcoin. This is Bitcoin. We had a perfect, you see this? You see what has been happening? We have one totally perfect shoulder. We have a perfect head. And then we have a tiny little emaciated right shoulder. Did you see that? Let me make it clearer. Ta-da, that's what we had. So if this is a head and shoulders, then aren't we going to dump this entire breadth, this entire height? Aren't we going to dump down to like about here? No. Why not? Because again, the proportionality isn't right. This has got poor proportionality. The right shoulder is far too small. It doesn't have a lot of final push power. It doesn't have a lot of pent-up dumpage money. So what ends up happening is that it only ends up dumping to about the height of the smallest shoulder, which would be right about here. You take this height, you drop it down, and then you scooch it on over to the neckline, and voila, we got our target right down in here. This is how we knew to long at 100x right in here. And we did. If you look on our Twitter, which is OTC_Bitcoin, we 100x longed for all our clients right in here and made double our money. Isn't that a fantastic trade? It's all calculatable. In other words, the future is knowable. The moment anyone says, "Oh, no one can foretell the future," they're an idiot. Anyone can predict the future as long as you can see harmonics and rhythms. Okay, so is there any other way to confirm that this is the bottom, that we're not going to dump any farther? Let's take a look at this from a different angle. Ta-da! You see that? This, with a point here and another point right here, this creates a falling wedge. Now it's much easier to see. This falling wedge dumped here and got double rejected on the bottom side of this wedge, which is also the same place we did our 100x longs for our clients, coincidentally. So what we're trying to do is find multiple different ways to get to the same answer. If you can do a proof with using multiple different calculation strategies and still arrive at this is the bottom. Oh, and this is the bottom. And let's do it another way. Let's look at this chart from another, and this is still the bottom. Then you might want to long here. That's the kind of thing. Maybe this really is the bottom. We calculated several different ways and they all say this is the bottom, then maybe this is the bottom, is how this works. So this falling wedge ended up pumping. Now what's it going to do? It got rejected on the bottom, so it went up, and then it got rejected on the top, so it went down. Really, really simple math, isn't it? Super, super simple math. Is it going to continue up? I already told you that this is most likely bullish. This is stocks. But is crypto going to continue going up? Because it did go the opposite direction at one point for a month. For the answer to that, you're going to need to pump out 500 thumbs ups here or join bitcoin-signals.org right now, and you'll get the answer right now. Bitcoin-signals.org, you can take 50% off because you slaved through 10 minutes of this video. You earned the 50% discount. Get yourself in there and let's get you rich.